Rohingya crisis has worsened. Also clarifying his statement on the crisis, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju, he's debunked allegations of using force or being inhuman against the Rohingyas.
No human rights organization, no other country can accuse India of intolerant or dealing with Rohingyas in a very inhuman manner. They are illegal immigrants in India. Deportation has to be through a legal process. We are not going to use force to throw out anybody. So such images were painted as if we are very inhuman. We are not. In fact, no other country has accepted as much refugees as India has accepted.
Well, the crisis turns deadlier as the number of Rohingyas seeking refuge in Bangladesh, it's reached a staggering 125,000, worsening the situation. Myanmar has blocked all United Nations aid agencies from delivering vital supplies of food, water and medicines to thousands of Muslim Rohingyas allegedly facing persecution. The Office of UN Resident Coordinator in Myanmar said deliveries had been suspended because the security situation and government field visit restriction render the UN unable to distribute assistance. Activists say in the northern Rakhine state there are reports of at least another 30,000 Rohingyas believed to be trapped in the hilly terrain, this without basic supplies of food, water or medicine. Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi has come under increasing international pressure for a failure to forcefully speak out on this issue. Muslim women in the Indonesian capital have staged protests, in fact, outside Myanmar's embassy in Jakarta in support of the Rohingya minority. In Chechnya in Russia, it saw thousands of people gathered to take part in a rally in support for Rohingyas. The crowd chanted anti-Myanmar government slogans and stayed in the streets for several hours. In fact, in India too, protesters took to the streets in Kolkata on Monday to protest against the persecution of Rohingyas. Raising slogans, students and human rights activists gathered outside the office of the Consulate General of Myanmar in the city and burnt posters of leader Aung San Suu Kyi and former UN Chief Kofi Annan. The protests come as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Myanmar for his first bilateral talks. He is there for 3 days. WION's Bangladesh Bureau Chief Saad Hamadi sent us this report from the border between Myanmar and Bangladesh, an area which is called No Man's Land in Tomru. Take a look.
I'm standing at the ground zero in the no man's land between Bangladesh and Myanmar. On my right, there are hundreds of members of the Rohingya community who have come from their own homeland in the northwestern Rakhine state in Myanmar and have entered into this no man's land waiting for their luck to be able to enter into the Bangladeshi territory. In the last week alone, we've been told at least 100,000 members of this community have entered into Bangladesh illegally. At least 500,000 members of this community have entered into Bangladesh over the last decades. There will be more and more people coming. There are just 1 million people left on the other side of the border of this community who have been facing persecution daily. The women being raped, men being killed, their homes being torched. Will there be a resolution to this community for recognition in their own homeland that they have been fighting for so many decades? At the Tomru border, this is Saad Hamadi for WION.